Young people your age are very much under a world I would not frankly like to live in anymore.
Hello everyone, so I've come to ask people why they think depression is so common nowadays, so let's see what they have to say. Why do you think depression is so common nowadays?
That's mainly just because everybody's into their social media and tech things and stuff. Nobody talks to each other anymore. Everybody's in the virtual world, not in the real world anymore, yeah.
I don't know if it's any more common than it was before. I think people are just more educated about it and maybe realize the signs in themselves. I'm not a psychologist, I don't really know if it's more common, but I hope that it's helped people just how much it's talked about and helps people maybe if they think they're depressed realize maybe they're not and get the help that they need, or maybe they are and they also get the help that they need.
Why do you think depression is so common nowadays?
I think social media comes in with it, and we do a lot about that in school, about how, you know, just like, I think social media is a big thing to do with it though.
Why do you think it's causing that?
Just like general day-to-day things, like people's appearance on social media and just like popularity.
Well, there are pressures on people. I grew up at a time where there was an expectation, even if you were not well educated, the opportunity to find a job that you could live on and bring up a family was there, and it could be there long term. That sort of career has gone out the window. Short-termism by business, and just the view that there is no loyalty to staff anymore. Young people your age are very much under a world I would not frankly like to live in anymore. The uncertainty. I have a son who's 29, and it's only in the last 4 months would I say he's got a job that hopefully will turn out to be permanent for him. That's not how I was brought up, that's not the expectation that we had. And I think, frankly, we've left you with a whole pile of problems, and we're not going to give you any answers to those problems.
Oh, you're speaking to the right person. So, I deal with depression daily. I counsel people all the time about it. And I think that what we do now is compare ourselves online with social media. So when we look at that, we look at people that really is a snapshot of somebody's life, and it's often photoshopped to not be real. But the main cause, I would say, is people not actually being able to achieve the real sense of worth. And when you achieve value and worth in your own life, then you don't feel depression, and it's massively on the increase. There's an article this morning about female self-harming, and it's gone up massively, and that is, I think, a lot down to social media. It's a great tool, but it's also really negative as well.
Depression. Because the work is too hard, and you ask the people to do always more and more for the same money, and it's not enough, never enough. So that's why people fell in depression.
Do you think that people are more isolated nowadays? There's not so much of a community.
I'm coming from a rural farm, and everybody used to know each other, help each other. Here in the city, you don't know your closest neighbors.
Pressures of life, I think.
Yeah.
Money, job, works, all of it, housing, all of it. So it brings people down, worries people a lot.
Do you think people are quite isolated these days compared to like maybe 20, 30 years ago?
Yeah, I think they are, yes. They haven't got the local communities like we used to have. Everybody's living their own lives. You don't know who lives next door to you and all the rest of it, yeah. Where before we were all in streets where everybody sort of mingled and talked to each other, but not now. No.
As humans, we congregate towards community, and we don't have that interaction like sitting around a family table. It sounds really old-fashioned, but by being more in touch with each other through social media, we're also less connected to people that can give us a hug. We're almost becoming more and more detached by becoming included in everybody's life through social media.
It's more virtual rather than physical.
It's not real. Yeah, it's not real.
We're a society of being told that we need. When we can't get, then I think the people who have on low wages or 0-hour contracts, who don't have qualifications, are on a permanently low wage and having the stress of trying to, make ends meet. And they see on the television that they should have this and they should have that. That's a big area where depression comes in because of lack of and the difference between people.
Families used to be very close, in a lot of cases didn't move from one another, so the supporting structure was there. It's not there. We're a much more mobile community, if you like. We've had to go get jobs. there's maybe not the support that was there before, and people don't have that support network around them to help them in times of difficulty. Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be.
Why do you think depression is so common nowadays?
Well, because it's becoming more widespread. People are talking about it. I think it's the stress of modern life. I mean, being interviewed by random people on the street creates stress. No, look, I really think it's just, life's more stressful. People become more aware of it. Just the social pressures of things going on. Well, we are in a global village, but I guess sort of you walk around and see how many people are on their own. I'm visiting from Australia and just seeing sort of the number of people who are sort of homeless on the streets. If that's not isolation, what is?